Here's a list of some healthy snack ideas that are TSA approved, how to pack them, and what to avoid. But first, CBD infused coffee. Have you tried it before? Welcome back to Live Free TV. My name is Sarah, Live Free Warrior. I'm gonna jump right into it. Here's a list of healthy snack ideas you can take with you on the road. It's a road trip we're doing more these days, but these are all TSA approved as well. It gets really tricky in airports right now because even if you have lounge access, they give you a little paper bag that usually has some not so healthy treats in it. So either way, I always recommend pack your own snacks. So a list of some healthy snack ideas include peanuts or raw nuts. Go for the raw nuts. They don't have salt. They have more nutrients in them being raw or sprouted, even better, that digest easier into your system. Pass on any that they give you in the bags because they're usually roasted and salted. It's going to dehydrate you even more. Opt for whole fruit. I like to go for hard fruits, so think of an apple is a great example, and oranges. And a tip with oranges, pre-cut them, so when you're on the plane or waiting, you can just open them and you don't have to fidget with them and use your hands. Again, try and limit how much you're touching things. Now, if you are packing a fruit such as a banana or a pear, you're going to want to store those very carefully. I think we've all been there, done that, where we smushed the banana in our bag, and that just leads to a big mess. The other kind of fruits I love are grapes and melon. You can store those in a baggie. Just keep them away from other things that are going to crush them. We'll get to that later, I promise. More healthy snacks, things that are not going to get smushed. Dried fruit. I love eating dates, limited amount that you have. They're full of fiber, so that can also help your bowels from flying. Just saying. Goji berries are another good one that are packed with vitamin C. And any kind of it's not a fruit, but like a dried apricot is another good one. And I also like a dried coconut. More on what you can make with that later. A good add-on, nut butters. They come in little individual packages. I'm sure you've seen them at your grocery store. I buy them in a 10-pack and then I have them stored, ready to go. A variety of almond butter, cashew butter. They also, of course, have peanut butter ones, but an individual pack that you can just squeeze it out, and then again, you don't have to use your hands. Pairs wonderfully with one of those apples that I know you're packing for you. Oatmeal. Oatmeal is a great option because all you need to do is ask, excuse me, can I have some hot water? They're going to bring you the hot water, and then you just add the pack to it. Now, a tip, you're going to want to bring your own cup. And I say that because they won't always give you a cup that's big enough to fit the oatmeal in. The other idea is if you're buying a coffee somewhere in the airport, save that container and you can reuse it. You also want to bring your own spoon. I recommend a reusable one or a bamboo one. Another snack, of course, a nutrition bar. They're easy to grab, go for raw, natural, healthy ones. You know what I mean by that. Protein powders. This is a great idea for just, you can add water to it or you create, it's kind of a weird thing I do, but I make my own paste out of it that emulates a little bit of a nut butter, and I use that with the apples that I bring. You get loads of protein. I love the taste. Keeping your veggies high, bring along some cut carrots, celery, zucchini sticks, the little cherry tomatoes. Those are all delicious, packed with healthy nutrients and also vitamin C as well, and hydration. This is one you might not think of always, but baked root vegetables. I'm talking about sweet potatoes, butternut squashes. You can put those in a container already cooked, and then I like to put a piece of an avocado on top. Those are all, it's TSA approved. We want to stay away from butters. It can melt and that can be a liquid. You also want to stay away from salsas or any other dressings, but if you have just those two, the avocado adds a nice creaminess that you don't have to have a liquid on it. C'est magnifique. Wraps are a great option. You can throw any one of those combinations we mentioned before. You can just roll it up. Again, minimizing the amount of touching things and mess. Things can get messy. Roasted chickpeas. You can roast them in a pan with a little bit of spices that are your favorites. I like to use a chili powder, a cumin, salt and pepper, and there's one other one. There's one other spice, and you add that onto it, and then you put them in a little baggie, and they're easy little snackers, and they're full of protein. Almost better than peanuts, I might say. Maybe. Okay, so we mentioned all of these other great ideas earlier. You can make your own trail mix. Add the goji berries, some of the raw nuts, some of the coconut chips, some of the date pieces, chop them up. You can mix those together, and you have yourself your own homemade trail mix. Much healthier than anything you can buy. Now, I mentioned we were going to talk about how to store these, because that's almost just as important. I got 3 options for you. This is not sponsored, by the way, but these are my favorites. Stasher bags are incredible. I want to say a big thank you to my mom for one of the best stocking stuffers ever. She gave me these 2 Christmases in a row. They're phenomenal, no waste. You can put them in the dishwasher, reuse. I used them in my trip back from Japan, and I put a bunch of pecans inside of them to take back. And then going there, I also grabbed a bunch of cherry tomatoes. I love these bags. Another great idea, use an airtight container. This one's from Daffy. I'm sure you can find a bunch out there. But the airtight container, this way if you're taking melon, it's not gonna drip out everywhere. The other 3rd option, it's not my favorite, but as a last resort, you can use a plastic bag. If you are gonna use a plastic bag, please rinse, reuse it as many times as possible. Please, please, please. This goes without saying too, just while we're on the topic, bring a reusable water bottle. Thank you. Now we talked about what you can bring that's healthy, how to pack it. Here's what to avoid, because no one wants to be the stinky person on the plane. Don't be the stinky person. Fish, please. Don't bring fish on the airplane. I'm talking about tuna, especially. It can stink really bad. Eggs. I don't know who thought to put eggs in the Admiral's Lounge, but stay away from the eggs. We know what goes in. You know where I'm going with that? I think so. I mentioned earlier about bringing your veggies. A veggie that I will recommend to stay away from, cruciferous vegetables. They are known to cause cheesy chips, like the puffs, they stink. Unless you're the person eating them and that stuff gets all over your fingers, and it's just, especially now in COVID times, just stay away from the cheesy stuff. Oh, this one. Whenever I was in the trains back in Boston, a bacon, egg, and cheese. Well, leave it at home, eat it before you get on the plane. Just because you like the smell of that doesn't mean your neighbor likes it. I certainly don't. The next one, Chinese food. Again, it has such a smell to it. Just no. On that note too, any hard cheeses. Again, if you smell it miles away, imagine how the person next to you, and in front of you, and behind you, they can smell it too. Stay away. I hope those tips were helpful. There is also a blog article linked below in the description of all of these listed out, so you can reference that from my friends at VKU Travel. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, Live Free TV. More health tips at home, away, mindset, travel. We do it all. Healthy, conscious, creative, at home and on the road. You're gonna wanna follow me over on Instagram at Live Free Warrior, daily inspiration over there, and I will see you soon on another upcoming video.